And for those of you who don't know me, oh, I'm going to do one more thing. Give me a minute. Okay. All right. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mindy Deeble, and I am one of your Blue Diamonds here at Trinont. And I am so excited about all of the major things going on. I know that we have a lot of you that are running like crazy. You're doing big things, and we're just excited about the momentum and the growth and everything that's happening. And today we have a special training for all of you. I am so excited for you to hear from this gal because we're going to talk about social media. How many of you want to up your game in social media? In fact, drop a one in the chat if you want to take your, social media to another level to start uh, bringing in more contacts, lead generation, all of that. I see lots of ones. Awesome, awesome. Well, you're going to hear from the very best. In fact, I just want you to know that I love this gal so much that she actually does my social media. I've learned so much from her. Yes, this is being recorded, LaDonna. But I have learned so much from her just about how to attract more leads to me to grow my business and really creating content that converts. And this gal, she's a rock star. She's actually built in our industry, created over 600,000 in personal sales. She's recruited over 900 people and created over six figures in the arena. She actually creates content for us here at Trinont. She has blessed us and added a lot of value to us. I'm going to show you where you can find that content in case don't have access to that. But you will recognize her when you see her face because you have seen her content with us because she's created many stories for us and does that every week, as well as she has created our whole 60-day social media campaign that we just launched. And so I don't want to take any more time, and I can't wait for you all to hear from her. So please help me welcome Bethany Reyes. Bethany, thank you so much for being here. And okay, I never know. Is it Reyes or Reyes?
Reyes, yes. I
Reyes.
know. I'm
Okay.
married to my husband's from El Salvador, so uh, yeah, I had to learn Spanish quick. Well,
I
thank you so much for
love it.
the introduction, Mindy. It's just an honor to be here and to be able to be training your team on social media. I am so excited. I have 10 years of experience of building my business on social media, and that's pretty much the main way I've built my business. I actually got started while living in El Salvador. I was a missionary in El Salvador. I needed a way to make some extra money, and I found a way to do it through network marketing. And I started, and my goal was just to make $500 a month to pay for our bills, which our bills were like $600 a month in El Salvador. Wouldn't that be nice these days? So I just wanted to make $500 a month, and that's how I got started. I lived in a third world country. My first year of business was 100% on social media. And that's pretty much how I've built my business the last 10 years. And so I'm really, really excited to show you what you can do with social media. So first, I want you guys to tell me, do you build on Facebook or do you build on Instagram? I feel like those are the two main platforms that a lot of us are building for network marketing. I actually built majority of my business on Facebook, and then last year I pivoted to Instagram, and then even this year I just started a new Instagram 4 months ago. So it's been a crazy wild ride. I've learned so much, and I'm excited to teach you guys what I've learned on Facebook and some little snippets of what I've learned on Instagram for all of you. So let's go ahead and get started with this training here. All right. So we're going to talk about social media. This is really just going to be a crash course of the basics to social media. And so we're going to dive in deeper in the months to come, but this really is just to show you how to build trust, grow connections, and how to start seeing results with your Facebook or Instagram. So The first thing I want to remind you is that we all start as beginners. So this was me in the very beginning, little Bethany 10 years ago, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I got started and just started showing up. And I think the biggest thing that prevents us from seeing results is we get in our head, we overthink, and we just don't show up, or we show up for a little bit of time, but not consistently. And the only way that you're going to start seeing results on social media is by being consistent. And that is like the number one factor. I always tell people I don't have any special talents, but my special talent is consistency. That I showed up even when I sucked, even when I looked stupid, and I just learned as I went. I was always taking action while I was learning. So that's the biggest kind of tidbit I can give you is take action while you're learning, and that's the best way for you to grow because that's you learn from your trial and error. You learn from making your mistakes. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Next thing I want to ask you is on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel on showing up on social media right now? Drop that in the chat. Do you feel super confident? Do you feel like you're leaning toward a 10? Sorry, I have a 1 year old here at home that my husband's trying to wrangle. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about showing up on social media? And I hope by the end of this training, you lean closer to that 10 mark, or you grow at least one more point closer to that because you feel like you know exactly what you need to be doing online. All right, so the whole point of social media is social, to be social. People do not go online to be sold to. People go online to connect. And so when you go to share or post, you need to have that understanding that people are not there to buy products, people are there to connect. And so that should always be your number one goal in showing up on social media. Yes, can we use our social media platforms for business? 100%. But it should not be used solely for business. The primary focus should be connections and relationships because people buy from people that they know, like, and trust, right? And so, in order to do that, you need to be a real person. You can't be an ad. You can't be just like a throw up of Trinot all over your profile. You need to be a whole individual that people feel like they can relate to you and know you outside of what you sell. Your goal, like I said, is to build that know, like, and trust factor. And your social media is your storefront, but don't treat it like a storefront, right? It is your business card, but you also need to be a full person outside of that. So let's do a little checkup here. And what I would like you to answer in the chat is, where's your trust factor at right now? So the number one way to know how you're doing with this, if you're doing a good job at building the know, like, trust factor is, would a stranger know who I am without ever talking to me? Let's say someone happens upon your profile. Would they know who you are outside of what you sell? Would they be like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know this person. I feel like this person is a friend even before I have a conversation with them. If you can get people to say, I know her before they even have a conversation with you, then you're doing this really, really well. But if I go to your profile and I don't know anything about you, there's no storytelling, there's no, this is what I'm going through, this is what I've learned, this is what my life is looking like right now, outside of what you sell, then it's really hard for me to relate to you, connect with you, and then want to buy from you. And then, like I said, you need to have your personality, your values, your interests, things outside of just your products. Now, can you weave in your products into your life and into the things that you're passionate about? 100%, but it doesn't need to like be solely products and business because you were a person before you ever joined Trinot, right? And so you need to be a full person online and how you show up online. Let's go to the next. All right, so the first thing is just kind of like a basics of how to set up your profile. So the first thing is your profile photo. It does not need to be a family photo, a picture of your dog, a picture of a graphic, or some random thing. It needs to be a photo of you. Remember, this is your storefront or your business card, and you never give someone a business card that has like a picture of your family, a picture of your dog. Like that would be really awkward. Like, hey, work with me, and there's a picture of your dog on it, right? So imagine people land on your profile. It needs to look professional. They need to know exactly who they're going to be talking to, who they're going to be working with. It shouldn't be like a group of friends because they don't know who in that group are they actually speaking to or talking to. So a photo of you, a close-up photo so they can actually see you because the thumbnails are so small on Instagram and Facebook. And then another kind of hack is to actually put a pop of color behind your photo, and that will make you pop even more online so people can say, hey, like this person looks approachable. I want to be her friend. Sometimes I'll even accept a friend request just because their profile looks friendly and inviting, right? And that makes me curious, like, oh, what is this person? Who are they about? But if it's a picture of their dog, I'm probably not going to accept that friend request. Okay, so think of it that way. Next is your bio. Now, I will say that your Facebook profile bio is not as important or necessary as your Instagram bio. And so when it comes to creating your bio, this is mainly the formula for Instagram. Now, 100% you can use some of this formula for your Facebook bio, but it's just not as important. People don't look at your Facebook bio as much as your Instagram bio because of how the profiles are set up. So on your Instagram profile, you want to start with who you help. I help, I show, and then you want to say how you help them. Be specific so they know exactly who you're talking to, why they should follow you. A lot of people are super vague and they're like, I help women feel better. I help women feel healthy and confident. That is so vague. Okay. You just blended in with millions of other people. Be specific. I help women in their 40s drop the stubborn belly fat and with natural plant-based supplements. Right now, you have a specific, clear picture of what exactly I'm helping you with. Right. So in my bio, I'm like, I help women entrepreneurs. Okay. I told you who I'm helping grow, make sales without the 24/7 hustle. How do I do that? I give you viral content ideas you can copy. Boom. And then have a call to action, a reason for them to click on your button. I say start here so they know, like, hey, if I start here, this is where I can find some content ideas. Maybe yours is like a free guide. Maybe it's like, hey, grab my favorite supplements. Always have a call to action to your website. And you can put your website on your Facebook, and you can also put your website on your Instagram as well. All right, so let's go to this next thing. So here's a prompt that you could use if you want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this right now. I need help writing an Instagram bio. I help who you help by how I help. My call to action is what you want people to do. Can you write a bio that follows this formula? So if you're struggling putting together this, do this, and then make sure it's specific. So when you're saying who you help, be like, I help busy moms who have kids, young kids at home, and I help them refine themselves and feel more like themselves again with plant-based supplements that help with their mental health. Be specific, and then it will help you create a really good bio from there. All right, so let's talk about Instagram's versus Facebook because I get this question all the time. So, what works best on these platforms is very different. And so, I know a lot of times people have their platforms connected, but I want you to know that what works on Facebook does not necessarily work on Instagram and vice versa. And so, having them connected is great, but not everything should be shared automatically. And so, what should you share versus what should you not share? So, on Facebook, what works really, really well is one photo with a caption. So, you have your text and then you have your photo, and that works really well. Or the text box post where you can use those Facebook text box and you can type something in, or Reels. So, those are what works well on Facebook. On Instagram, those don't work well. You can't do the text box, or if you do, it doesn't really work well. Doing just one photo with a caption doesn't really work well. What works well on Instagram is Reels, so short form videos like under 10 seconds, or carousels. And carousels are those multiple photos. So if you've ever gone on Instagram, you're swiping and there's multiple photos with text on them, that is called a carousel. So on Instagram, really reels and carousels work, not like those singular photos or posts or engagement type question boxes. Like, do not do those on Instagram. Those work well on Facebook, whereas Instagram is more so carousels and reels. And how often you should be posting. So this is very controversial, but really when it comes to how often you should be posting, it's how often can you be consistent at posting. I can tell you post this many times, a leader can tell you post this many times, but if it leads to burnout, it's not going to work for you, right? So you have to become clear on like, okay, what do I really need to set as far as what I can be consistent with? And then maybe you can build up on top of that. Maybe you're like, you know what? In the beginning, I can post 3 times a week. Boom. I'd rather you post 3 times a week consistently than post every single day for 2 weeks and then ghost for a month, right? Like, we don't want that. We want you to be consistent. And so, what I suggest might be a little bit too much to start with, but start with what you can be consistent at and then build on top of that consistency because that will build momentum. So, I say post once a day. So post once a day on Facebook or Instagram or both. You can actually share your reels from Instagram to Facebook. Those still would do well on both platforms. I say show up in your stories 3 to 5 times per day. Your stories are the best way to build that know, like, and trust factor, especially if you're talking in your stories like you're FaceTiming a friend. If you're doing that every day, that is going to build that know, like, and trust factor really, really quickly because it's like you're talking to a friend and people get to really know who you are. I always tell people it's quality over quantity, right? I don't think it's quantity of like posting multiple times a day to hopefully be seen. I much rather you really think about what you want to post, put effort into that, and show up in that way versus post multiple times a day. And that's proven to be true for my clients. And I teach this to my clients all the time. I say, hey, I'm not the kind of girl that's going to post multiple times a day for you. Let's post quality. And it's proven to work. One of my clients, I posted only actually twice a week for her Instagram, and she grew 10,000 followers in 90 days. And so it's proven to work and be effective if you're posting quality. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's talk about what to post versus what not to post. And this is mainly for Facebook. Remember, static posts and photos work best on Facebook, not necessarily on Instagram. So do not post graphics. So I know you want to post pictures of the products. Maybe you got some like these really cool graphics from Turn Out Corporate or whatever about a sale. Don't post pictures with the products in them. Just don't do it because it automatically, if you see this, if someone sees this, they automatically feel like they're being sold to, right? It just, that's the automatic thing. And you don't want to come across salesy. You want to come across personal and relatable, right? So instead, why not post a picture of your personal results showing, hey, I lost this weight, I lost inches in my pants or whatever. So instead of posting this, post this and talk about your journey, your story, your results that you're seeing with the products. They don't need to see the bottles. They don't need to see the products in your pictures. And that goes for this next one, infographics, where you're like, oh, I want people to know all the information about this product, how great it is, the immediate benefits, the long-term benefits, blah, blah, blah. Like, people don't want infographics. Okay, people don't go on Facebook and Instagram to look at an infographic. They don't care. They much rather you say the benefits of for your personal results. How has it benefited you? Here's my story. Here's what the collagen has done for my hair loss. Here's how my hair has grown. Here's how my joints feel better. People are going to buy your story more than they buy your product because they buy from people, they don't buy products. So sharing your story is the most important thing you can do, and sharing it over and over and over. People do not get tired of your story, right? I know sometimes you're like, I shared my story one time, and keep on sharing it. Share it every few weeks, share it several times a week. People need to hear your story over and over and over again. And there's multiple ways that you can rewrite and re-say your story. All right, so things that you should say or shouldn't say on Instagram and Facebook. So don't say buy now, limited time only, message me for my link, join my team, let me know if you're interested. I have 5 spots left. Here is this discount. Here is this price cut. Here's my product from Trinot. Like, no, that all comes across very salesy. Instead, you could say, hey, comment this keyword and I'll send you info. So keyword would be like, comment collagen and I'll send you info, right? So I don't ever want people to message me for a link. I don't want everyone to just let me know if they're interested. That leaves it up into the air and you're never going to get any kind of return on investment with those kind of call to actions. Instead, having a specific keyword for your post, hey, comment this word, comment business, comment opportunity, and I'll send you info. And then it's up to you to get into their inbox and start that conversation from there. And then saying, like, I think this could be a good fit for you. I'd love to help you get started. This has helped me. I think it could help you too. So it's not so much about like, buy this, join my team, here's my thing. It's more like, I would love to help you. I think this could do a good job for you. I think this could help you. And then it's turned into like, hey, I want to help you. And it's not so much of like, I have 5 spots left, like, let's get you in. No, like, I think this could really help your family and help you have the extra money that you've been looking for every single month. I think it could be a good fit. Would you be able to take a look at it? That's so different versus like, hey, I only have 5 spots left. Let's get you in, right? It just feels very different because it feels like you genuinely care because you think that this could genuinely help them versus just filling a spot that you have. So let's talk about sharing your story because, like I said, this is the best way to sell products, sharing versus selling. I think it's the best way because no one can argue with your personal experience, right? And I don't feel like it's salesy or pushy because you're just sharing your story. You're just telling them, like, hey, this is how I felt. This is what happened to me. Obviously, if you're not using those salesy phrases, this will work really, really great. Just sharing your story. So, what a story would look like. This could actually work in your captions on Instagram. It could work in your captions on Facebook. But basically, it's going to be your pain, your struggle, what it was like before you found this business or product, the solution you found, and then the transformation from there. So from there, you're going to go, for example, I used to crash at 2 p.m. I found a simple swap. Now I have energy for my kids. So that's basically the story format. So if you want to screenshot this, but basically your story format should be I felt this, I struggled this. Tell them your pain of what you felt, your emotions, of feelings. Man, I struggled losing weight. Like it was constantly losing and gaining the same 5 pounds over and over and over again. No matter what I did, no matter the diet I tried, the exercise I did, and it was so frustrating. I felt like, you know what? My metabolism is just done for. I figured this is just how life is going to be. I'm never going to be able to lose the weight until I found this simple, easy drink that I can add to, or I add to my water every single morning. And that alongside my healthy lifestyle and habits, I've been able to drop the 10 pounds that I've been struggling to lose for the last 10 years. I'm so excited that I'm able to like show other people like that there's something that actually works out here. So you see how that sounds very different than just like, oh my gosh, look at Activate. It's a GLP-1 and it helps you with your hormones and it helps curb hunger, right? That sounds very different versus you saying the story of what it's impacted you and how it's helped you. It's like the change of this is what it is versus this is how it helps, right? So you want to change that perspective, what it is to how it helps you and that story behind it. And even sharing other people's transformations, you can talk about their transformations in a story format too. Let's say you found someone's before and after on one of the ATM groups, okay? Take the before and after, plug into ChatGPT and say, hey, here's what they said is their story. Here's a picture of them. Can you write a storytelling caption for me of the pain struggle they had, the solution they found, and the transformation since in a way that can relate to my audience? Boom, it will write it for you. And now you have a way to share the before and after without just saying, look at this before and after. She lost 10 pounds. Like now you have a storytelling caption to go with it. So let's talk about engagement tips because I know all of us are like, how do I get people to comment on my posts? So here are some tips that you could apply to any of your posts, whether it's stories, Facebook, or Instagram. End a post with a question. Ask them a question about themselves. Ask for opinions. Ask them, should I wear this? Should I do this? Should I do that? And reply to every comment. You engaging with people, whether it's people that are commenting on your post or you commenting on other people's posts, that builds that connection, that builds that engagement. And then this golden 15 rule is right after you post, engage with those comments for the first 15 minutes of whoever's commenting because that indicates to the algorithm, oh my gosh, people are engaging with this, people are conversating on this, let me boost this post. So the algorithm, when you're getting those comments, especially right after you post, it's going to push it out to more people. So let me give you some examples of this. So the first one is a text box on Facebook. Remember, those work on Facebook, not Instagram. And I said, supposedly the average age women get married is 28. How old were you when you got married? And I got 375 comments for that. And then here's another one I posted on Mother's Day. So I could have posted a picture of like Happy Mother's Day and a picture of my family and just saying Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Instead, I made it about them and not about me. And I said, how old were you when you became a mom? I was 31, right? And I got 314 comments on this. So that's just a simple way to change something that could have just been about me, a picture with my family, oh, happy Mother's Day, to now it's about them and inviting them to comment and engage. Here's more examples. So asking for opinions, people love giving opinions. They love giving suggestions. And this is another way to kind of boost your algorithm and get more people looking at your content. So I asked like, what chores did your child start at 4 years old? I need ideas. Got 76 comments. And I was like, what's a fun board game that you love? I'm looking for something to do at Christmas. 92 comments. So things like this are just really, really great to build that engagement. And then replying to those comments engaging with people that are commenting with your content is important and key as well. All right, so here's a ChatGPT prompt that you can screenshot, and this is just an easy way to get some ideas. Now, all of these ideas, once you get them from ChatGPT, you might want to tweak them a little bit, add to them, but this kind of give you just kind of a baseline of ideas of what you could post this week if you're struggling with ideas. Say, hey, give me 5 post ideas about uh, joint health in your 40s. Make it a mix of engagement questions to get people talking, value tips not related to my product, storytelling that naturally showcases my product, which is collagen, a testimonial or before and after story related to joint health in your 40s, etc. Right? So that's how you can insert your specific topic of what you want to talk about this week, who you want to talk about, the product you want to talk about, and then how to build your post around that. So take a screenshot of this. This is a great way that you can plug into ChatGPT and ask it for a little bit of help on ideas this week. Now, my biggest pet peeve is people sounding like robots on Facebook and Instagram because they use ChatGPT, and I can smell it from a mile away when I see a post. I'm like, ChatGPT wrote that. You don't want people to say that. Yes, we love ChatGPT. We love using AI for basically for helping us with content, but I think it's going to turn people off and turn people away if they can smell that it was created by a robot and not by you. So, how to make it sound like you and not people think it's a robot? Remove the dashes. There's dashes like that ChatGPT loves to put in its content, and I can promise you, majority of us don't ever naturally put that into our content. Remove them. Remove the excess emojis. I mean, I see people with like 15, 20 emojis in their content, and I'm like, oh girl, like I know that it is ChatGPT. Remove the emojis, 2 to 3 nicely placed. That's great, but like just not over excessive, please. Remove jargon that doesn't sound like you. If you would never say that or never write that, please just remove it, right? Maybe it sounds really classy, it sounds really great, but you're like, you know what? Most people that know me know I could never talk like this or would never talk like this. Change it. Another idea is ask it to rewrite like talking to a friend. So let's say it wrote something, you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a robot wrote it. Ask it, say, hey, could you rewrite this like talking to a friend? Can you rewrite this in plain English? Rewriting, and you can continue to ask it to rewrite it until it sounds good. Another idea is write it yourself, then ask ChatGPT to rewrite it. So let's say you write your caption, you're like, is there a way to make this sound better? Take it to ChatGPT and you say, hey, can you rewrite this? You could ask it, hey, can you make this flow better? Can you make this sound like more storytelling? Can you make this sound better? And take it and then give it to that. And that way it starts at least personal to you. And then it's able to take those personal aspects and just make them sound a little bit better. All right, so your friendly reminder is consistency beats perfection. Show up, learn as you go, and trust built over time. The best and most important thing on social media is building that know, like, and trust factor. Once you do that, then people will start to buy from you and be interested in the products that you're sharing. If you're just sharing and trying to sell things, people are going to feel that energy and people are going to feel like that's the only thing you care about. You need to care about connection, relationships, helping people outside of just what you sell. You need to be a full person. When they go to your profile, they need to be able to get a sense of who you are, know who things about you outside of what you sell. So start telling your story. Talk about the things that you've learned in life, the things that you've been through, the experiences that you're struggling with. All of those will bring people in. I always tell people, people connect more with the struggles than they do the wins, right? And if everything is like, I got this Jeep and I got $100 bonus and I da 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 da, like people don't connect with that, but people would connect with, man, I struggled buying groceries last week and now I have $100 to buy the groceries that I was struggling to buy last week. They connect with your story. They connect with the vulnerability more than just like the highlight reel and the celebrations and the wins, right? So that is it. I don't know if Mindy wants to open it up for questions or anything like that, but I will go ahead and stop sharing and bring her on.
Awesome. Bethany, thank you so, so much. I really do appreciate you. And that was amazing training. And here's what I love, you guys. Bethany is going to be training us more and more We're going to learn more. Today I told her, let's do the basics. Let's just kind of get this rolling for everybody. But I love her knowledge. I love what she's doing. I will open it up for some questions because if that's okay, Bethany,
Yeah.
because I did notice that there were some questions. One of them, people were saying sometimes ChatGPT can be a little wanky, which
Mhm.
yes, we both know that, right? And so, any tips about that you have, or I think you just kind of have to play with it, but
Yeah. Playing with it, the more that you talk to it, the more it learns you and gets to know you. If you're doing the free version, it's totally fine. I actually did the free version for like the majority of this year and just switched to the paid version. So you don't have to do the paid version right away. But the paid version does have a better memory of like remembering previous conversations. You can actually save folders on like on your computer on ChatGPT. You can save folders so that if you're trying to continue a conversation that you had before, you can have it saved in a folder, open it up, and now it knows what you're talking about or referring to. But it's a lot of just like asking it to rewrite it, asking it to remove it, teaching it about you. And the more that you tell it, the better it does. So you sometimes have to be better at sharing parts of the specific details that you need. So like, who you help, the product, what is the product. Sometimes I'll go on, like if I'm trying to have it talk about a product, I'll like copy the sales page and like, hey, this is the product. Can you write this in plain English? Right? So things like that. And obviously asking it to rewrite in plain English or rewrite like talking to a friend are just really great prompts to give it. But talking to it, the more you talk to it, the better it gets.
yeah, cool, cool, cool. And I want you guys to know, like I said, she does my social media, and I know that she will use ChatGPT, but nobody ever knows. And I love how it just sounds just like me, and we work together. But I just want you guys to know that you can use ChatGPT, but she's absolutely right. You can smell ChatGPT a mile away. When I see posts, I'm like, oh, that was ChatGPT, So really making it specific and about you. And what I've learned is just letting it know everything I possibly can about me and who I am and how I speak and everything that really helps. So, um, okay, is there anybody else that has any questions for Bethany right now?
There's a hand raised. Stephanie, do you
Oh,
want me to
yeah,
unmute?
that would be great, Stephanie.
Oh, what? Stephanie, where did you go? Stephanie, are you able to unmute yourself?
Oh, you know what? It's because
Huh.
I need to let them unmute themselves. That's my fault. Okay, Stephanie, yes, sorry about that. You should be able to unmute yourself now. Oh, she can't. Here, I'm gonna, there you go. There you go.
There, thank you. Okay, sorry, I hate it when the hand stays up, so I had to lower it. Uh, I wanted to, because I see a little bit of a conflict here with some of the other trainers is using the Trinot. Now, me personally, I know that people are out there promoting their products. And so if they become like they want to become a friend or be social and stuff like that, I'll go over to their page and check things out. So for me, it's like if you're kind of disguising what you're doing, I don't want to connect with you. So, and I've heard that with other trainers. Like, I'm not trying to say that yours is wrong or theirs is right or theirs is wrong and yours is right. But like talking about what we're doing, like when we're in our posts, I'm not saying all the time, but showing up with it. I'm just curious as to why we wouldn't want to present what we're doing out there. Like, why are we masking what we're doing instead of being proud and like, hey, you know what? I work with Trinot, and I'm not going to cram this down your throat, but I want you to know that I'm here and that this is me as a whole, but this is, what I'm doing here. Because I've had a few people do that in my private chat. And I'm just like, you know what? If you're that afraid to tell me right off the beginning that you're working with a company, I'm wondering what you're afraid or what you're trying to or going to sell me afterwards. So how do you kind of balance the two?
Oh,
Oh, you're muted.
you're
No,
muted.
you're muted.
Muted. So I would say on your post, you want to build that curiosity a lot of times with what you're posting and not necessarily clearly talking about exactly what you are doing. That builds a curiosity to get people to ask for more. But in conversations, be clear on what you're doing. Be transparent because you don't want it to seem like you're being shady or trying to hide something. Be clear. Like if someone's asking you, well, what is it? Oh, well, first you have to watch this video. No, you tell them what it is. Say, you know what the company is trying out. It's a health and wellness company. I would love to show you more about it. Would you be open to taking a look at a video that explains a little bit more of what I'm doing? Right? So there's a part of curiosity marketing where you're not just going to blatantly give all the details on your profile, but when you're having conversations with people, you need to be 100% transparent with those conversations. And it's not to say you can't ever mention your company, but you don't want to be mentioning all the details of your company because that kind of takes out a little bit of the curiosity marketing that you could be building with what you're posting.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Bethany.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
And if you study like attraction marketing, Stephanie, like it really, the one thing I learned, and I learned it a long time ago, if they go to your profile and they know exactly what you're doing, you can just push people. I mean, like if they know exactly what company you're with, exactly everything right off the bat, and it looks salesy or spammy, then they'll immediately not want to follow because they're like they just have preconceived ideas about what they think it is. And so that's the main reason why, it's so
Hmm.
important to just make it them a little more curious. Then it's kind of like giving them little bits and pieces rather than a huge fire hose right when they come to your page. So hopefully that helps. Um,
Bethany, I have a question. This is Danny.
Hmm.
Um, I love your presentation. I think the concept of what you're talking about is really making this all personal for the viewer. It's building that relationship with them. We've done some posts and gotten a lot, and my question is really around process more than anything else. Um, we've done some posts that have been in that personal sphere and gotten 300 responses. And one of the things you said was how quickly you should be responding to those posts to let both Facebook and or Instagram know that you're there and that you're responsive, but also to let the reader know I'm here.
Hmm.
My question to you is, if you're doing a lot of posts, let's just say, because this is all numbers, it's a numbers game. If you're doing a lot of posts and you're getting a lot of feedback, it feels like will be sitting at the keyboard for a lot of hours.
Hmm.
That's the process, right?
Hmm.
I mean, that's what we do. In
Yeah.
order to find that one diamond in the rough, we just have to keep at it over and over. So we should be comfortable sitting on our butt for a while to respond to those people. Is that accurate?
Not necessarily. I would say the first 15 minutes after your post, if you can be active, that are great. But it's not like a make or break where if you're not active, oh my gosh, like horrible. Like there's times where I have to realize sometimes done is better than perfect. And if all I can do today is get up a post to be consistent, but like I'm not necessarily can engage until later tonight, that's what happens. Like this is real life. Obviously, you know, perfect example would be like, oh, I post and then I engage for 10 to 15 minutes with the comments, right? But not necessarily is always going to happen. Like we have real life, sometimes you post and then you engage later, or you slowly engage over the next few days if it's like 200, 300 comments, right? Because you don't want to go in Facebook jail.
Right.
And then if you're having massive, massive results, you can always look into ManyChat. That's kind of like next level. And ManyChat can send details and information to people. But I would say that's not really until, you're getting 20 plus comments on every single post.
So it's that immediate, that first 15 minutes first.
Yep.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Just within that first few times, it kind of just perks up the algorithm, say, hey, this post is doing really well. There's conversations happening. And that doesn't mean going and commenting on your own post, like that doesn't really do anything because it's not showing conversations with other people. The most important thing is other people commenting and
Yeah.
then you replying to those comments. So if you're not getting any comments in the first 10 to 15 minutes, that's okay. And
Okay.
it's not like you sitting on your phone. If you get comments, okay, let me try to respond, but it's not going to be like me staring at my screen.
Okay. So second level question really quick. If there's that, if we get 200 responses, the ones that are the most engaging are the ones you want to spend the most time with replying to, right? If they're just, a short comment, but there's nothing much to it,
Hmm.
like a curiosity question or something else, kind of pass that one. But if there's engaging ones where they're trying to engage with you, they're the ones you want to focus on. Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
I mean, if they're asking a question back, that's always like a conversation starter that will boost more in your algorithm versus someone saying, "Oh, love this," right? So engaging with those are always like going to be better versus like the ones that are just kind of blanket,
Okay,
kind of broad. Hmm.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, it looks like we had somebody else had a question, or I saw their hand raised, and now I don't see. Let me see if they're still here. Um,
Mindy, I have a question. It's Rania.
oh, hi.
So while you're looking for the hand raise, so Bethany, you talked about because I do just for time purposes, and Instagram is not my friend. I'm old, but I do have Instagram and Facebook connected. And you had said that because of the way posts are done in each one, do you have a recommendation on maybe what would be best to post in Facebook if it's dumping into Instagram? Like,
Yeah, the
should
only
we do
thing
more reels or
Yeah, the only thing that I think would actually transfer well on both platforms is Reels.
okay,
Other type of content like text box or single post, static post, they're not going to really do much on Instagram.
okay,
Especially if you don't have a following on Instagram. So, um, static posts, like picture post, those get pushed out to your followers first before non-followers. So if you have like 200 followers, it's only going to be pushed out to them. And if they're not engaging, it's not going to be pushed out to non-followers. Reels typically get pushed out more to non-followers before your followers. And so that's why Reels are better to do on Instagram versus just the static post, especially if you're looking to get new leads.
okay. And should the reels be, I think you said less than 10 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow.
Yes. Short
What
form
do you
reels.
say in 10 seconds? Hello?
Short form reels, and that's also the issue that I find a lot of people have is um, they create content that's not digestible. It really needs to be simple. You're having a simple text hook on screen that people can consume and know what to do with within 10 seconds.
Okay,
If it takes longer for 10 seconds for someone to consume it and understand it, it's not going to do well. Long form videos that are longer than 10 seconds, they don't really get pushed as much unless you have a good following and good kind of momentum and base of people. But it's just short form videos. Look at Mindy's videos I've created for her.
yeah,
Most of them are short form, less than 10 seconds. Go look at the ones I've created for her. You can see, hey, these are the type they do well, they do better.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that Lisa Renemo, I hope I said your last name right, had a question. Tina did.
Hi, Mindy. I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to add to the question a little bit about the curiosity post. And I just wanted to add the fact that there is a lot of availability. So if they know everything about your company and what it is, a lot of times people are tempted to go Google it, right? We all know you can find whatever you're looking for on Google. And so I personally just want them to find out who I'm with, what I have from me. So when they raise those concerns, I get to face or whatnot, handle them and respond to them. If they find it out there, I mean, there's everybody, there's all sorts of things you can find. And then they might just shut me off because they saw this, that, or the other, or somebody had a bad experience, whatever. So I like to add that piece to it that it's best if you control the conversation. And that's where I find that the curiosity is really the best bet.
I
I love
agree.
it. I love it. Thank you, Tina. I agree 100%. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so you guys, I want to make sure before we end here that you guys know that we have a whole 60-day social media campaign that you can plug into. I believe most of you know, but I just want to make sure you do know. If you go to powerplayers.team, and I put that in, maybe Bethany, if you'll put that again in the chat, powerplayers.team. And then go to our 60-day social media campaign. You're going to see a full 60 days of content that Bethany created for all of us. And she did it in order, and the way she did it was to help you boost your algorithm, to create content that's converting and things that are happening. So start using that. She literally takes a picture of herself and shows you exactly how to post it, exactly what to do. She gives you the caption and everything. So all you have to do is just follow her lead every single day for the next 60 days. I highly recommend that if you're brand new and you're just getting started, follow this 60-day social media campaign. If you've been in the business for a while, look at those posts because a lot of them you can use right now and start creating your content through that. And so I want to make sure that you have access to that. Secondly, we have stories that Bethany does in our Telegram chat. We also have other professionals that are putting stories in there and content in there that you can utilize. So make sure that you have that Telegram link. You know what? I should have put that in the chat. Okay, Bethany's going to put that Telegram link in the chat. And start using that, that content. You can sandwich that in with your stories that you're doing personally, because that's already created for you and you can literally just put that in to your stories. And so we feel so blessed that we have all of these tools and resources. But you guys, it's really just getting out there and making it happen. We can get all the knowledge, but Bethany is absolutely right. Just doing it over and over is what's really going to help us take it to the next level. So, Bethany, thank you so much for sharing. We are so excited that you're with us and helping us, make this all happen. And I know there was a lot of great content that you all received. If you want to just get more training on social media, you can actually follow Bethany on her Instagram. She's got some great little tips and tools that she puts in there. And I don't know, Bethany, if you want to drop it in the chat, the one that they should follow. But yeah, follow her on Instagram. And like I said, I love her style. I love what she does. And that's why I've hired her 6 or 8 months ago. I know the first time I started seeing the results, I reached out to her and I said, "Oh, Bethany, you're awesome," because she really knows what she's doing and knows how to create content that converts. So, you guys, I am so excited. Let's go do some big things. As you know, we have events that tonight we have Mr. Jeff Belville, top producing Red Diamond, doing an event. You're going to want to make sure that you get the people in front of him and he's going to sign them up. And so let's go attack, do some big things, and we'll see all of you at all of our events we have going on this week. Love you all. Thanks so much for joining us. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
See you later. Thank y'all.
Thank you.